why are schemes legal and yet making headlines where people seem to be avoiding paying millions in tax, and what people see that as is money that would go towards schools and towards hospitals?
Arsenal fans, you thought you had a crisis at your club. Tottenham really have got one. They've sacked their manager today. Paul Hawksbee joins us. Evening, Paul.
Hi, Russ. Hi, Danny.
Oh, yeah. Well, Paul, you and I have supported Spurs through thin and thin, and we thought that, you know, things had really started to turn around under Pochettino, and they did, didn't they, for a while?
Yeah.
Nobody could say it's only Tottenham lads. They were a really good football team, Champions League final, but over the last few months, the form has been relegation form. And what do you think tipped Daniel Levy over the edge to sack Pochettino?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was inevitable, the way things had been, just looking at his body language, really almost from the start of the season. There was inevitability about this. It's the kind of overriding feeling is sadness of a real wasted opportunity that we didn't build on the great work he did. We didn't. I think the board didn't give him the support that would have kept him on side, given him that drip feed of players, that churn in the players that he needed. And in the end, I think ultimately Daniel Levy has sucked the joy out of the job. And my concern is it will happen again. This is just a pattern. It's just a pattern of squeezing a manager until the pipsqueak, if you like, trying to drain the very last bit out of him. Saying, okay, 2 windows where you can't buy anybody, check. Go and move to a new stadium, but still expect you to get top 4, play at Wembley, check. Do all the things I asked of you. Bring in good players when you get the chance. Get the best out of what we've already got there. Promote youth. He's done everything that's been asked of him. And I think in the end, I think he was drained. I think mentally and physically drained by the job. And my concern is that we're never really going to build anything. We look at Liverpool and we look at that as the blueprint, and that was a perfect opportunity to look at what they've done, the way they've built under Klopp, and the way they've supported him. And I look at Tottenham and I don't see that. I just see they wanted too much from the guy, and in the end, you know, so they sucked the joy out of the role for him.
Paul, obviously Mourinho's name's been thrown around a lot already. He's out there, he's available, you know, he's still in London. I mean, how would that go down with Spurs fans, and would that fit with Levy? Would that work?
Well, that was always my concern, Danny, that I thought that wasn't particularly a marriage made in heaven. If Jose doesn't get what he wants, which is often quite a lot of money to buy players, he starts to bleat. And whenever managers have done that under Daniel Levy, they've not lasted very long. So that would be my concern. There's also the fact that ultimately Mourinho would look upon this job as a bit of a stepping stone. And a stopgap.
Well, it's a short-term, maximum 2.5 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the very most.
I mean, yeah. So you're not. What are you building there? You're just bringing in someone else to maybe say. I mean, I know the nature of football management has changed. You don't get a lot of Wengers and Fergusons anymore, but you know you do get Klopps. And as I said, I go back to the way. The blueprint for that was really where Tottenham should have been, and it feels and also a wasted opportunity.
Also with Manchester City, they've got that. If Pep goes, if Klopp goes, there's succession planning.
Yeah.
If you bring in Mourinho, he's not he's brilliant, and I think it'd be incredibly entertaining. But Mourinho's not concerned about the succession plan and the future after him. He's no interest. But just tell me, you must have had that text from your beloved Andy Jacobs with just 3 laughing emojis, I'm guessing.
No. I mean, maybe he's feeling that inside. He's not done it publicly. I don't think that's the case. But I don't know quite where they go. As I said, it's just a sadness that we had this fantastic manager who got the very best out of the squad and could have built something good. And I just feel that he's been let down. It's a great shame. Look, he didn't get everything right, but I think a lot of that was symptomatic of what he was being asked to do. You know, 2 windows for a team that were asked to be in the top 4 and to get to a Champions League effectively when you'd not signed anybody. And then Lo Celso coming in late. I know he played in the Copa America, but he certainly could have come in earlier than 5 minutes before the window closed. Again, it was that same thing. I mean, I think a lot of times he said, give me a chance to work with players. Everything he said has come true. You need to churn the squad. They didn't do it. I need a bit more time with players to bed them in so they can hit the ground running at the start of the season. Daniel Levy just loves the art of the deal so much. He leaves everything to the last minute. We get the players at the last minute. They're not ready to start playing properly for a month, 6 weeks, 2 months. And this is what happens. I'm kind of at loss for words, really, because this does feel like such a wasted opportunity with the best manager, I think, since Keith Burton-Shaw, definitely. Fantastic.
Somebody else said
manager that we've
earlier.
let go. And, he's not the sort of guy that's going to, he's not going to end up in League One. He's going to go to some of the best jobs in the world because they can see what this guy's made of with the right support and the right help from upstairs. This guy can build dynasties. He can be a great manager. I thought he worked wonders with what he had, and he gave us some sort of great memories. But as I said, I just see this pattern happening again.
What is definitely going to happen, because Poch and his entire staff have gone, is that before the West Ham game, there's got to be a managerial appointment, because there is no caretaker, obvious caretaker to take over. So we were breaking news from our sources about 20 minutes ago that Tottenham apparently have sounded out Jose Mourinho. Other names in the frame: Max Allegri, Julian Nagelsmann, much coveted German young coach. Ancelotti is at Napoli, but apparently on dodgy ground. Brendan Rodgers, no chance there. Getting him from Leicester. Nuno Espirito Santo. Eddie Howe at Bournemouth, the usual suspect at the end. I mean, it looks as though it's going to be Mourinho.
Well, I think Nagelsmann's not going to leave Leipzig. He's been there 10 minutes. We spoke to Rafi Honigstein today, and as he said, he's trying to build a dynasty there. He's not the sort of guy that's going to jump ship after 6 months. He's got a good big job to be doing there. Allegri, someone like Ancelotti, he's a very passive manager. He's not the sort of guy. He's the sort of guy you bring in after you've had. He's the guy they bring in. He said to us when he was on the show.
He's the one in after Mourinho.
Yeah, exactly. He said, I'm the guy they bring in. I tend to get sacked for the same reason they brought me in. They say we want a guy who's quite relaxed and gets the players on side, and I'm very steady. And he said, but then they sack me because I'm too steady and I'm a bit too quiet and I'm not a ranter and a raver. So I don't know what Tottenham need at the moment. They've had a good, considered manager. They don't necessarily. No one's mentioned Tony Pulis yet. Maybe we need. The
I'm sure Alan Kirbishley's at 12-1. Curbs is always in there at 12-1.
Big Sam. They'll all be in the list. Paul, thank you so much. We'll have a sort of a beer and console each other, hopefully in the near future. Paul Hawksbee, massive Tottenham fan, of course, back on H&J tomorrow afternoon. And